That's Bob's videos. Right, before the next race, anyone interested in joining Grasser? See, he's off the track. Well, it was Carl Clark who went end over end on the start line. He's okay, but he's out of it, obviously. As we get back to the racing with Richie Scarborough out in front. Richie Scarborough leading behind the proverbial whisker from number 6, Terry Robinson. I haven't seen much of Terry around for a number of years, but he's back today and he's up there in 6th spot. Now it is Will James now up in the second. So we've got Ricky Scarborough, Will James, that's the one too as they go down the back straight. Will James, you remember that disastrous ride first time out, ended up in what, 5th or 6th spot, but Will James trying to get on terms with Scarborough as they go into the last lap. Terry Robinson still up there in 4th place, but down the back straight. It's all about Ricky Scarborough and Will James. Will running also on the inside, and has he gone too wide? Will Scarborough come back on the inside? We'll have to wait and see as they come off the bend, they're side by side, and Scarborough gets there by a whisker. In 2nd place, Will James, and behind them in 3rd place was Sean Bickley. Behind him, Terry Robinson. But
I've enjoyed the idea of having one of these Grasstrack videos, but it never got round to it. Good luck. It got happy music, shows some self-love. Feel like turn the engine around and go in the other way.
well, we got 2 end over ends on the start line. But whoever it was, I think the bike seemed to land on it. Painful. Race 25 then. Peter Carr, for once, doesn't lead. Tony Atkin does though. No. Tony Atkin. Well, the one that went over was certainly Chris Dix, who's got himself mobile. As we look to our left, we've got Peter Carr and Tony Atkin. In that order now. In 3rd place. Number 22, Lloyd. But Peter Carr having got in front. Pulling away from the rest of them. Tony Atkin though, still there in 2nd place. Last lap flag at the ready. And a tremendous wheelie from Peter Carr. Tony Atkin 2nd. Gary Lloyd, 4th place, number 2 Valver, Paul Tyler. So as we look to our left, checkered flag at the ready, yet another win for Peter Carr. He's going to do us a wheelie. No, he isn't. Peter Carr wins it, Tony Atkins 2nd. Who's going to be 3rd? Paul Tyler comes through on the inside. He gets there. Gary Lloyd is 4th. And in 5th place, it is going to be 10, Tony Atkin. In 3rd place, number 398, Paul Tyler. In 4th place, number 22, Gary Lloyd. In 5th place, number 109. You tell me how to pronounce that and I'll give you a quid. Right, in 6th place was number 343, Kevin Phillips. So, and number 30 in 7th place, Chris Dix, after an end over end on the start line. Right, 2, 10, 3, 9, 8, 22, 109, 3, 4, 3 and 30. We move on to the last race before the interval, race 26, non-starters 758, Mark Chessel, and number 79, Colin Earl. So, a competitive one with Wayne Broadhurst, John Priest, Phil Ashcroft, and the man who won his first ride, Peter Lloyd. A lot pressed on the start. Priesty, a brilliant start, so does Phil Ashcroft. Phil on that first turn. Phil Ashcroft back in 2nd place. They go down the back straight, but we've got to have a red flag. Must have a red flag. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. We've got a red flag, so it's all over, and we'll have a rerun. Right, a rerun of the last race before the interval. John Priest, good start. Peter Lloyd up there as well. Phil Ashcroft up there. John Priest. Priest leads. Priest did lead. Lloyd leads. Lloyd, Priest, Ashcroft. That's the 1, 2, 3 as they go into the bottom turn. And coming around the outside pretty quick is number 9, Jason Handley. So Jason Handley trying to get on terms with the lead into the Jason Handley then trying to come on the inside of Phil Ashcroft as they go into the bottom turn, but no luck. Phil's having none of that. Holds him off. Peter Lloyd then leads by some 60 metres from in second place. John Priest gets through, and not only does he go past Phil Ashcroft, he goes past John Priest as well. Super top turn there for Jason Handley. Goes into second spot. That's Peter Lloyd out on his own, leading by about 60 metres as they go into the last lap. It's Peter Lloyd from Jason Handley, from John Priest, from Phil Ashcroft. Number 101, Steve Hoare. And behind Steve Hoare, number 89 is Paul Roman. We'll look to our left. We see the flying Peter Lloyd. Peter Lloyd wins. Handley second. Priest third. Ashcroft fourth. And in fifth place, it is going to be number 101, Steve Hoare. The finals today. The points scored in the finals go to the points scored in the heats, and the winner is the one with the least points. I think we should make that doubly clear. So the top 12 solos in each event go through to the final. Top 6 sidecars go to the final. So that brings us up to date. We've got riders on the line for race number 27. Well, Mark Wadsworth, John Dormer lead into the first turn, and John Dormer trying to go around the outside. Rob Almond up there with a strong jack just a little bit. Steve Deere making headway, comes through into third. But in the bottom turn, Dormer on the outside, Wadsworth on the inside. Mark gets it locked up a little bit. John going very, very wide. But he gets away with it. The order downfield still the same. Matthew Parson in about 6 spots. Dormer still trying to go around the outside of Mark. But 10 times British champions having none of that. So Dormer trying again, the man from the southeast. Trying to come around the outside, but still Mark holds him off at half distance. The order still Wadsworth, Dormer, John got the drive a little bit there, coming out of that top turn, but it lost it, and the order's still the same. Into the last lap. Mark Wadsworth pulling away a little bit now down the back straight. Let's not what happens, but they're going to finish. A win for number 344, Mark Wadsworth, and second place to number 76, John Dormer. Steve Deere, number 344, finishes third. 433 rather, get my numbers right. In fourth place in 21, Rob Almond, followed by Ronnie Radcliffe. Andy Bates, not Ronnie Radcliffe, Andy Bates. Get the facts right. Right, the official result then of race number 27, a win for number 344, Mark Wadsworth. In second place, number 76, John Dormer. In third place, number 433, Steve Deeran. In fourth place, number 21, Rob Almond. In fifth place, number 193, Andy Bates. In sixth place, number 145, Carl Clark. In seventh place, 196, Matthew Klassen. And in eighth place, number 343, Kevin Phelps. 344, 76, 433, 21, 193, 145, 196 and 343. We move on to race 28. Race 28 in your programme. The only non-starter is number 27. Otherwise, they all go. So, Mike Nicholson, British champion, back in 1977. It seems like yesterday, 15 years ago. Mike Nicholson against the top Midlander, or one of the top Midlanders, Jason Stott, number 94, and another top Midlander, very much local man from Minsterley, just down the road, number 314, Graham Thomas, not forgetting Grandad Ronnie Radcliffe. And up there with him as well, Ronnie Radcliffe making good progress in about 4th or 5th place, but Jason Stott and Mike Nicholson out in front. Jason leads by about 20 metres off the bend. Mike Nicholson, Graham Thomas, Ronnie Radcliffe, Graham Thomas making headway. On the outside of Mike Nicholson, just up 2nd place, so the chase is on now. Graham Thomas 2nd. Jason Stott still out in front, but Graham Thomas making up ground into the paddock turn. Stott, Thomas, Mike Nicholson, Ron Radcliffe, and behind Ronnie Radcliffe, Lee Cooper. And Graham Thomas still making up a bit of ground on Jason Stott. And as they go into the bottom turn, Graham makes up about 20 metres, comes up alongside Jason, tries to come around the outside. And as they go into the last lap, there's absolutely nothing in it. Stott leads. Thomas 2nd, and again Graham Thomas trying to go around the outside. He's got to go around the outside and switch to the inside, which he does. Into the last turn, Thomas leads, Stott 2nd. But Jason coming hard on the inside, and there's absolutely nothing in it as they go for the flag. And Jason Stott gets there, Graham Thomas 2nd, Mike Nicholson 3rd, Ronnie Radcliffe in 4th. Well, it looked as though Graham Thomas had got it, but out of the bend, Jason Stott went underneath him, and Jason gets the decision by about a yard. For Jason Stott. In 2nd place, number 314, Graham Thomas. In 3rd place, number 34, Mike Nicholson. In 4th place, number 93, Ronnie Radcliffe. In 5th place, number 194, Lee Cooper. In 6th place, number 48, Paul Reed. 7th was 229, that is Richie Knight, and in 8th place was 154, Jonathan Edwards. 94, 314, 34, 93, 194, 48, 229 and 154. Right, that completes the 250 heats for the day. There's just the final to come, and we move on to race 29 for 500 sidecars. If it runs to form, they all go in race 29. Roger Newman, Kevin Good, Kevin Lloyd, Jim Rowlands, Jerry Squirrel. Jerry Squirrel having a good afternoon's racing, had a couple of good results, but the obvious favourite in race 29 is number 7, Kevin Lloyd, and Alan Pithouse. start once again for Kevin Good and Nick Allright, but Kevin Lloyd who takes it up as they go down the back straight for the first time. Kevin Lloyd and Alan Pithouse. Jerry Squirrel there in second place, and Kevin Good back in third. Off the end, the order's still the same. Kevin Lloyd, Jerry Squirrel, Kevin Good, and Roger Newman. That's kicking up now, but nothing serious. I think the wind's blowing in the right way anyway, so getting strung out the order though, still the same. With the west leg of Kevin Lloyd, about 60 metres up, half distance. Newman making a little bit of ground on Kevin Good, trying to get that third place. Rather than that, the order looks to be well set. Change in the order down the back straight. Roger Newman takes up third spot. If we look to our left, comfortable win for Kevin Lloyd and Al Pithouse. In second place, Jerry Squirrel and Paul Stafford. Third place goes to Roger Newman and Mark Newman. Fourth place to Kevin Good and Nick Allright. And we've lost Jimmy Rowlands and Mark Griffiths in the middle. So just four finishers in race number 29. And they are number 7, Kevin Lloyd and Alan Pithouse. Number 4, Jerry Squirrel and Paul Stafford. Number 75, Roger Newman and Mark Newman. And number 438, Kevin Good and Dick Allright. 7, 4, 75 and 438. We move on to race 30. Before race 30, we can give you the 250 final. 250 final. By number, we haven't got the points as yet, but the numbers in the 250 final are as follows. Number 21, 34, 48, 76, 93, 94, 145, 229, 314, 344, 433, and 194. That's the 250 final. 21, 34, 48, 76, 93, 94, 145, 229, 314, 344, 433 and 194. We'll give you the points in a few moments, and then we'll be able to see who's got to do what in order to win the 250 overall. Meanwhile, back with the 500 sidecars, race 30, non-starters in race 30, obviously number 33, Carl Squirrel, who took that nasty tumble, and number 3, Dave Howell. So we've got 3 good outfits in this one, 3 very competitive outfits, and this is going to be close. And we've got Rob Williams, the Welshman, against 2 of the established national stars in Brian Canning and Brian Palmer. As I said earlier, a lot of support for the Welsh crew here today, but Brian Canning leads as they go around that bottom turn. Brian Canning with Raz in second place, Rob Williams in third place. Jordan, still the same. Rob Williams very tight into that top turn, trying to make up ground, but not making any impression on the 2 leaders. Brian and Raz in trouble, and Brian Palmer goes out, going in the bottom turn, his hand comes up, and Brian Palmer goes out of it. So we're left with just 2 outfits, Brian Canning and Rob Williams. Brian Palmer's still going, but obviously something seriously amiss with that. And as we look to our left, they go into the last lap with Brian Canning with a substantial lead over Rob Williams in second place. Then for Brian Canning and Colin Lewis, number 49, with Rob Williams and Carwyn Jones Davis in second place, number 14. the official result. Everything's all round, so he's going to push it all the way down and get some points. So it's well done, Brian and Colin. Good stuff, that. If you shouted a point a bit now, I'll guarantee Raz will jump up. Raz, Brian Dunn wants to buy you a pint. Good lad, well done. Right, we move on. Have you gotten the official result of that one? Yeah, the official result of race 30 was 49, 14 and 71. So we move on to race 31. Race 31, non-starter 69, Bobby Graham, and 199, Dave Plain. 29, Bill Bourne. Added to your programme. Just looking down. Interesting heat. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be without Darren Pearson, who had that incident, put his foot through the wheel. The likely winner, who? Tom Ledbetter, Andy Challenger. They go past us for the first time. Mears up there. Up the front. Challenger up at the front. Dave Marder up at the front. Billy Bourne up with them as well. Tom Ledbetter back in about 8th place at the moment. So, round the bottom turn. And as they come off the bend, it is Dave Mears leading by a whisker from Marder and Challenger. Big Stanton up there in about 6th place. Challenger's running around the outside of Marder. The first three broken away, Dave Mears, Andy Challenger, Dave Marder. The pack led by Glyn Stanton and Bill Bourne. Dave Marder going a little bit wide, Challenger up the inside. And Andy Challenger comes through in the second place. No, Dave Marder still holding second spot. Dave Mears still out in front. Last lap flag at the ready. Still anybody's race. Remember, all the points count, so crucial that you win every race if you're going to win the event overall. Mears, Marder, Challenger, Stanton now, Glyn Stanton up in 4th place. Bill Bourne back in 5th. And Dave Marder going to try and come around the outside of Dave Mears, but he's got no chance. Dave Mears wins it. 2nd place, absolutely side by side, Challenger and Marder. Likewise with Bill Bourne and Glyn Stanton for 4th and 5th, so we'll leave that up to the lap scorers. But no doubt about the winner, number 139, Dave Mears. For number 139, Dave Mears. In 2nd place, by a whisker, number 511, Andy Challenger. In 3rd place, number 250, Dave Marder. In 4th place, number 29, Bill Bourne. In 5th place, 811, Glyn Stanton. In 6th place, number 134, Steve Morris. In 7th place, number 12, Tom Ledbetter. In 8th place, number 61, Duncan Spate. In 9th place, number 93, Ronnie Ratcliffe. In 10th place, number 291, is John Wheatley. And in 11th place, number 270, Emma Jones. 139, 511, 250, 29, 811, 134, 12, 61, 93, 291, 270. Dave Norris and Rob Southwell lead as they go past us for the first time, and Wayne Broadhurst right back in the pack in about 7th place. But as they come off the turn, it's Norris leading by about 20 metres from the bunch, and Wayne Broadhurst already up in the 3rd place. So the Cheshire Centre man, Dave Norris, leads by some 10 or 15 metres from Ricky Scarborough there in 2nd place on the golf. Down the right straight, Ricky Scarborough trying to go through on the inside of Dave Norris, which he does. So Ricky Scarborough it is who takes it up. Dave Norris relegated to 2nd. And Wayne Broadhurst comes through the inside of both of them. Up there with them as well in 4th place. Number 149, Rod Winterburn. Oh, we haven't seen much of Rob this afternoon. We've got he's going to be prominent in both the 350 class and the 1,000 shares. He hasn't appeared in the 1,000 shares. His 350 rides have been a little bit subdued by his standards. So, off the bend with a lap to go. It's Scarboro, Broadhurst, Norris, Winterburn in the gap. Gerald Short, and behind Gerald Short, Ian Wilson. Well, it looks like a win for Ricky Scarborough. Wayne Broadhurst still a lot to do if he's going to get through there. Ricky goes wide, but he holds it, and Ricky Scarborough wins. Wayne Broadhurst second, Dave Norris third, Rod Winterburn in 4th, Gerald Short in 5th place, and in 6th place, Ian Wilson, followed by Ray Morris. So the Lakes lads, a couple of them there in the first 5. 158, 177, 149, 27, 71, 72, 105, 39 and 223. That completes the 350s. We can give you the 500 sidecar final by number. The 500 sidecar final, number 7, number 14, number 49, number 71, number 438 and number 4. 500 sidecar final, 7, 14, 49, 71, 438 and number 4. Right, we have the points for the 250 final and for the 500 sidecar final. We'll come on to that later. We're back with the big chairs. Race number 33, we've got Rustling, Ben Stabler, Gary Jackson. We don't have Paul Pinfold. We do have Alan Blewett, and we do have Gary Moon. So, Alan Blewett, 1984 British Masters champion. When he had John Metcalf in the chair, now with son John in the chair. Alan Blewett been racing for longer than he probably cares to remember. Now in his late 40s, but still super competitor. A man who travels a lot of miles from Darlington down to the south coast, never misses a major meeting, and still one of the most competitive drivers in this country. In my opinion, and in most people's opinion, I'm sure. Rustling, one of the quickest men who's never won the Masters. Surely his turn will come. Number 6, Rustling and Paul Uritz. I thought they were in with a good chance of the Masters last year. They're going very, very quickly, start of the season, but they didn't quite make it, but I'm sure their turn will come. Then we've got Gary Moon, who's got an English licence now, an ACU licence, to enable him to race in England. The Australian many times Australian. Well, a little bit of wide riding there by Gary Moon and Gary Jackson. It's Blewett and Ing in that order as they go into the bottom turn. On the inside on the green grass, but too wildly a customer to allow that. And Gary Jackson making up a lot of ground on the leading 2, but he's got a lot to do if he's going to start mixing it with Alan and Russell. I say he's got a lot to do. It's only 20 minutes. Wide on that top turn. Into the last lap, the order still the same. Alan and John Blewett, Rustling, Paul Uritz, Gary Jackson, Kevin Williams, Gary Moon, Steve Robbins. Win for Alan, John Blewett. Very close for second. Rustling gets through. Gary Jackson and a good stop for 4th, with Gary Moon just getting 4th, and then Stabler with his new passenger getting 5th. Although I should say with his stand-in passenger. Race 33, a win for number 3, Alan and John Blewett. In second place, number 6, Russell Ing, Paul Uritz. In third place, number 23, was Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. In fourth place, number 86, Gary Moon and Steve Robbins. And in fifth place, number 8, Ben Stabler and Tony Stark. We move on to race 34. In race 34, we've got Andy Norris, Gary Wright, Alan Holmes, Lenny Foreman, Ivan Matthews. We don't have Terry Phillips, who had that spill in practice. So, 5 outfits in theory on the line for race 34. Just looking to race 35 if Ian McCauley doesn't come out. If Ian McCauley doesn't come out in race 35, we're down to 2 outfits, Steve Allibone and Chris Spears. But that's the way it goes. You can never allow in your programming for breakdowns. So at the end of the show, sometimes you get 6 in a heat, and the next heat you get just a couple. Well, sidecars over the years much more reliable than they were going back to the 60s when I first got involved with grass tracks.
That spins very fast. Shows you the film's loaded correctly. Oh, if it doesn't move, you know you have to put it back in the top. It's not very often it happens, but it's just like it does happen. Apart from that, it's a foolproof system. That I can do it with my eyes closed now. More or less.
Oh, Barry. Barry. Just outside of Welshpool. Oh, yeah.
All the exciting stuff. Gary Wright up there. They come off the bend, right it in from that form, and that's the 1, 2, 3. Andy Norris in 4th, Alan Holmes in 5th. But the leading 3 already pulling away from the rest. Alan Holmes at the back with Anne in the sidecar. Gary Wright it is. The bottom third. Ivan Matthews second. Foreman's third. Lennon Ray trying to get on terms with Ivan Matthews, but still the same. Leading by some 10 or 15 metres up the back straight, last lap from Ivan Matthews and Mick Dowse. Lennon Ray Foreman making a tremendous effort on the last turn. Don't mind, trying to come out the outside, but the win goes to Gary Wright and Steve Wright. Second place goes to Ivan Matthews and Mick Dowse, and third place goes to Lennon Ray Foreman, and behind them number 46, Andy Norris and Mark Beaton, and behind them, number 98, Alan and Anne Holmes. The 149, 46 and 98. We move on to race 35, the last 1,000 sidecar race of the afternoon, or heat of the afternoon, just the final to come after this one. And like I said earlier, it looks as though we're just going to have 2 outfits on the line. Number 18, Steve Allibone, and number 53, Chris Spears. So we're looking across, and is it 2 or is it 3? Do we have Ian McCauley and Rick McCauley? It could be 3 outfits. So, meanwhile, we can give you the qualifiers for the 350 final. 350 final solos by number only. 27, 29, 127, 134, 139, 149, 158, 177, 250, 5:11, 8:11 and 71. Those are the qualifiers for the 350. They're in no particular order. Give you those numbers again: 27, 29, 127, 134, 139, 149, 158, 177, 250, 5:11, 8:11 and 71. We'll give you the points before the final. Have no worry about that. We do have 3 outfits on the line, so we do have Ian McCauley. So the non-starters in race 35 are Rod Winterburn, number 148, Craig Cheetham, number 1, Steve Smith, number 2. This could be anybody's. All 3 outfits pretty closely matched, I would say. On the top turn, let's Chris Spears through, and McCauley's in some sort of trouble. Put their hand up, but they're back in the race and still hold on to that second spot. Steve Allibone third at the moment. The last lap, the order's still the same. It's going to be a win for number 53, Chris Spears. Second place goes to number 50, Ian McCauley and Rick McCauley. And third place to number 18, Steve Allibone and Andy Bacon.
The 200 lads is too fast. They're a podium before you've had a chance to do that. Put the camera from 75 quid. Check that one.
Hectic stuff up front. Yeah. Really amazing disaster there for Peter Lloyd, but he gets away with it. How, I don't know. So we got Peter Lloyd unbeaten, we got Paul Fry unbeaten, but Paul it is at the moment who leads. From in second place, Phil Jones, third place, Peter Lloyd. Peter Lloyd trying to get through on the inside of Phil Jones, which he does, but Paul Fry's away. And Peter Lloyd will know that he really wants to get a win here against Paul Fry to stand any chance of winning it overall. But Paul Fry at the moment leading by about 40 metres. Wrong. Peter Lloyd on Molyneux getting on that top turn. Phil Jones in third place. Gary Lloyd in fourth place. Bill Bourne in fifth place. That's the leading bunch. They come off the bottom bend with a lap to go. Paul Fry leads by 60 metres from Peter Lloyd and Pip Jones, Gary Lloyd and still Bill Bourne. And behind Bill Bourne, Sean. Last bend, the win for number 309, Paul Fry. Second, number 4, Peter Lloyd. Third, number 26, Pip Jones. Fourth, number 22, Gary Lloyd. Fifth, number 29, Bill Bourne. And in sixth place was number 245, Sean Bickley. And Paul Carr back in seventh place there, disappointment for him. Number 309, Paul Fry. Second, number 4, Peter Lloyd. third place, number 26, Pip Jones. Fourth place, number 22. That's Gary Lloyd. In fifth place, number 29, Bill Bourne. Sixth place, 245, Sean Bickley. Seventh place, 398, Paul Tyler. And in eighth place, number 37, and that is Alan Bagshaw. 309, 4, 26, 22, 29, 245, 398 and 37. We move on to race 37, 149. Phil Ashcroft it is who goes into second place, but Peter Carr leads by about 20 metres as they come off the paddock turn for the first time. Phil Ashcroft going wide, but he's still there. Jason Handley third, and again we see the Carr wheeling with the wheels roster. Spectacular stuff. 2 years ago the ACU tried to cut down on wheelies, I remember, and Simon Wigg was one of the ones that was reprimanded for doing wheelies, but it's all good stuff, you've got to admit. Peter Carr, Jason Handley, Phil Ashcroft and Dave Wright. Last one flag goes out, and Jason Handley really having a super ride. Still can't quite get on terms with Peter Carr, so it's Carr, Handley. Changing the order now because Dave Wright comes up in the third, relegates Phil Ashcroft to fourth. Checkered flag inside, another win, the third of the afternoon for number 2, Peter Carr, followed by number 9, Jason Handley, 38, Dave Wright, and 8, Phil Ashcroft, 61, Duncan Spade. In 5th place, and behind Duncan Spade, was number 145, Carl Clark. And last but not least, number 109. Number 37 draws to its logical conclusion with a win for number 2, Peter Carr. Second, number 9, Jason Handley. In 3rd place, number 38, Dave Wright. In 4th place, number 8, Phil Ashcroft. In 5th place, number 61, Duncan Spade. In 6th place, number 145, Carl Clark. And in 7th place, number 109, Kevin Wachnich. I can never pronounce that, and neither can anybody else who does this job. I have to change his name to Smith. 2, 9, 38, 8, 61, 145 and 109. Therein lies a story of the late Pete Fazy, who used to race 1,000 outfits. Nobody could spell it or pronounce it, so he changed his name to Brown. And the first meeting he went to, they put an E on the end. Well, some wheelies off the line, but nobody's come to any harm. Out in front now, John Priest. So the Harley man, ex-Brummie, now living in Harley in Shropshire, just this side of Much Wenlock. He leads. Tony Atkin, and behind him was number 6, Tony Robinson. But 2 riders broken away from the rest. John Priest, Tony Atkin. Atkin not beaten yet with a lap to go. Tony Atkin still trying hard, and he's trying to come on the inside of John Priest, but still John Priest with Tony Atkin. Still Trevor Evans there in third place. And Tony Atkin gets the drive off the top there. It's going to be all about the last corner. Tony Atkin will lock it up, try and come on the inside, but he's got no chance. It's going to be a win for John Priest. Tony Atkin finishes second. Third is going to be number 19, Trevor Ed, and behind him, number 127, Richie Scarborough. So with just one heat to go. One heat of the 500s, we can give you the official result of race number 38. One heat, then we've got the 5 finals, and the result of race 38 as follows. A win for number 5, John Priest. In second place, number 10, Tony Atkin. In third place, number 19, Trevor Eden. In fourth place, number 135, Jonathan Sims. In fifth place, number 127, Ricky Scarborough. In sixth place, number 6, Terry Rowlinson. In seventh place, number 85, Craig Haynes. In eighth place, number 329, Steve Williams. In ninth place, number 89, Paul Roden. And in 10th place, number 101, Steve Hall. 5, 10, 19, 135, 127, 6, 85, 329, 89 and 101. That's the result of race number 38. We move on to race 39, the last race of the afternoon, the last heat of the afternoon, just the finals to come. Mark Chessel, number 758, is a non-starter. Graham Jones, number 3, also a non-starter. Right, can we have Sid and Vera Lewis to the PA van, please? Sid and Vera Lewis to the PA van. It's Tiger Tom! Well, it was Tiger Tom. He's back in second now, and the man leading is a man of mystery today, Will James. He certainly hasn't had one of his better days, and I think it's the first time we've seen Will in front, so the Cornishman out in front for the first time today. Will James leads, Tom Leighton in second place, Chris Dix in third place, so Chris Dix is on the work, but he's upside down on the start of one of his previous races. Behind him, Ian Wilson in fourth place. But it is Will James by some 30 metres from Tom Leighton. Tom Leighton, of course, is Tom most things during his motorcycling career, speedway, motocross, about everything. Late of the Strongbow team, of course. Never actually won a British Championship. The nearest he came was run up to Chris David in 1974. Second flag at the ready, and the first one in the afternoon for Will James, number 46. Second, Tom Ledbetter. Third, Ian Wilson. In fourth place, Chris Dix. In fifth place, number 41, Rob Carter. And behind Rob Carter was number 185, Paul Bickley. Right, the official result of race 39 by number only: 46, 12, 71, 30, 41, 185, 43 and 31. Right, they get the 250 final out pretty quick, and I was going to give you a rundown, which we will do. We see on 3 points unbeaten, Mark Wadsworth. On 4 points, just once he was beaten, and that's Jason Stott. And they get underway with the 250 final. And Mark Wadsworth in the middle of the pack, but as they go into first turn, it is John Dormer. And John Dormer, the southeastern man, leading by about 20 metres as they go down the back straight. Jason Stott second, Mark Wadsworth third. Runner Radcliffe in fourth place. And on the bottom turn, it is still Dormer leading from Wadsworth now in second place. And Mike Nicholson going very, very wide on the bottom turn, but he gets away with it. And Dormer and Wadsworth really having a tremendous battle up front. And Waddy goes to front, so if Waddy wins, he's going to win it overall. There's no doubt about that. John Dormer just looking for his score. He's only on... the order still the same as Wadsworth, Dormer, Stott. That's the 1, 2, 3. Last flag at the ready. John Dormer not beaten yet. Tries to go on the outside of Mark Wadsworth, but Mark, a nice tight line, holds him off. So Wadsworth, Dormer, and Graham Thomas now up into third place. Comes on the outside of Jason Stott. So the Minxley man up into third. But no chance of catching the two leaders into the bottom turn, and John Dormer would love to beat Wadsworth on home territory. But it is Wadsworth and Dormer absolutely side by side, and here comes Waddy, and Waddy gets there by a whisker. John Dormer second, Graham Thomas third, Jason Stott fourth, Ronnie Radcliffe fifth, and in sixth place was Rob Almond. What a super 250 final. That was great stuff. And all credit to the lad from the southeast, John Dormer, put on a tremendous show there. But at the end of the day, the 10 times British champion won it for the first time back in 1978 at Evesham. You don't need me to tell you that. And been virtually unbeatable ever since. Mark Wadsworth goes through the programme unbeaten. He wins 12th place, number 145, Carl Clark. Race 40, the result of the final will give you the overall as soon as it's been totaled up. But the final itself goes to 344 Mark Wadsworth, followed by 76, 314, 94, 93, 21, 433, 194, 229, 34, 48 and 145. We move on to race 41, the 500 sidecar final. They're on the line. The points are as follows. Number 7, Kevin Lloyd and Al Pithouse on 5 points. Number 14 on 7 points, Rob Williams and Carwyn Jones-Davis. On 4 points, number 49, Brian Canning and Colin Lewis. On 6 points, number 71, Brian Palmer and Craig Herbert. On 10 points, number 438, Kevin Good and Dick Oldroyd. And on 7 points, number 4, Jerry Squirrel and Paul Stafford. So we've got a crew on 4, 1 on 5, 1 on 6 and 2 on 7. So it's going to be all about the final. The crew on 4, Brian Canning. Now if you look in the front of your programme, because it might arise after the heats, any final placings not decided will be decided by a runoff. After the final, any ties will be decided by the higher placing in the final, except for first place. Any tie for first will be decided by a runoff. I repeat that because we're in a situation where that could happen, I feel. I'm trying to do me sums. We've got Brian Canning on 4, Kevin Lloyd on 5. So if Kevin Lloyd was first and Brian Canning was second, there'd be a runoff for first place. Brian Palmer on 6 points despite the disaster in his last ride. And Jerry Squirrel, who's had a super day's racing, on 7. Rob Williams also gone very well on 7. But the interest really is centred around Brian Canning and Kevin Lloyd. Brian Palmer could put the spanner in the works. If Kevin wins it, he either wins it or at very worst he's in a run-off with Brian Canning if he's second. If Brian Canning wins it, then obviously he wins it overall. I've got the 500 final here, solo final, and they are as follows, by number only. We'll give you them very quickly. 500 solo final, number 2, number 4, number 5, number 8, number 10, number 26, 38, 46, 127, 309, 22 and 9. That's the 500 solo final. 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 26, 38, 46, 127, 309, 22 and number 9. They're in no particular order. We'll give you the points before the final. Well, we've got a problem with Raz, Brian Palmer. He got some mechanical problem, and do I see what I think I see? If I do, it looks very much like Roger Newman and Mark Newman pushing, and do I sense that Raz may be coming out on Roger Newman's outfit? It's all very much speculation at the moment. Mike Kilvert down there with the red flag, keeping his eye on things. Ah. '71. They obviously got some sort of problem, so be interesting to see what he does on Roger Newman's boxer. So, 500 sidecar final gets underway. Remember the calculations that if Kevin Lloyd wins and Brian Canning is second, we'll have a run-up. We'll have an extra race while Brian Palmer very, very slow away. At the moment, it's Jerry Squirrel up in front with Kevin Lloyd second and Brian Canning in third. So this is really going to put the cat amongst the pigeons. If they finish in that order, there'll still be a whoops. Oh dear. Well, Rob Williams getting a little bit close to the limit there. He gets away with it. So just looking at the points as they stand. If Kevin Lloyd gets past Jerry Squirrel and Brian Canning doesn't, then it'll mean that Kevin's going to win it overall. So it's all about Jerry Squirrel really at the moment. Who's going to win this event? Kevin Lloyd goes round the outside of Jerry Squirrel. Now Brian Canning's going to get round him. Otherwise, Kevin will win it overall. If Brian Canning gets past Jerry Squirrel, then there's a run-off. So it's as close as that. It's all about Jerry Squirrel really. As Kevin Lloyd comes to take the last lap flag, Brian Canning has got to get past Jerry Squirrel. Kevin Lloyd leads, Jerry Squirrel second, Canning in third place, and Brian. Been at this game a long time, he'll know the score, he'll know he's got to get that second place to get a run-off with Kevin. He's not going to do it. And if he doesn't, Kevin Lloyd's going to retain the championship he won last year, and Brian Canning makes a terrible mess on the bottom turn. Kevin Lloyd wins the final, he wins it overall. Jerry Squirrel second, Brian Canning third. In fourth place, Rob Williams, and in fifth place, Kevin Good. So, the man who won it last year, the crew that won it last year, Kevin Lloyd and Alan Pithouse, they win it again. Brian Palmer, well, it hasn't been his day. Brian Palmer goes out the final on the Roger Newman outfit, and it's just not Razzy's day. So, the 500 sidecar final placings are as follows. This is not overall, it is the final only. Number 7, Kevin Lloyd and Alan Pithouse. In second place, number 4, Jerry Squirrel and Paul Stafford. In third place, number 49, Brian Canning and Colin Lewis. In fourth place, number 14, Rob Williams and Carwyn Jones Davis. And in fifth place, number 438, Kevin Gould and Dick Albright. Nowhere to write it in the programme, but nevertheless we'll give it to you. This is the most important result of the day. 250 overall. In first place, number 344, Mark Wadsworth on 4 points. In second place, number 94, Jason Stott on 8 points. In third place, number 314, Graham Thomas on 9 points. In fourth place, number 76, John Dormer on 10 points. In fifth place, number 93, Ronnie Ratcliffe on 16 points. And in sixth place, number 433, Steve Deeran on 17 points. So the 250 goes to Mark Wadsworth, with Jason Stott second, Graham Thomas third, John Dormer fourth, Ronnie Ratcliffe fifth, and Steve Deeran sixth. Right, we've had the 250, we've had the 500, the 350 final. 350 final. We gave you a rundown of the qualifiers and the points. We got the 500 sidecar overall. We'll give you that after the 350, I think. They're coming a bit fast and furious. We'll have a look down the 350 list as to what the situation is. Have we got any runoffs? Well, we've got 3 riders on 5. We go into the 350 final. The 3 riders we're looking out for: number 139, Dave Mears; 158, Wayne Broadhurst; 511, Andy Challenger. Down the back straight, Mears is up there, Challenger's up there, Broadhurst is up there, so all the front runners are in front. And whoever wins this battle, if it's one of these 3, is going to win it overall. It's Mears at the moment from Challenger and Broadhurst, then Dave Mander, and Rodney Winterburn. We're concentrating on the leading 3. Because they're the 3 riders on 5 points. And Broadhurst coming through on the inside of his cousin. Takes up second, and Broadhurst challenging now for the lead, with Dave Mears still holding the lead. Broadhurst challenger. Mander in 4th still, Winterburn in 5th. And behind Rod Winterburn, Steve Morris go. It's all go down the back straight, and Broadhurst challenging for the lead and takes the lead. So Wayne Broadhurst leads, late trailing on the bottom turn, looks a bit untidy for him, but he gets away with it. And Wayne Broadhurst pulling away now, and Challenger trying to get on terms with Dave Mears to make it a Shropshire 1-2. And Dave Mears not giving up yet, and Challenger not giving up, Challenger goes through. So we've got a Shropshire 1-2 at the moment, with Dave Mears in 3rd place, and Dave Mander in 4th place. Off the bottom turn, and again Wayne Broadhurst hits the bumps, but he makes it. Wayne Broadhurst wins, Andy Chalmers second, Dave Mears third, and in 4th place it is number 250, and that is Dave Mander. Glyn Stanton in trouble in the middle. Well, I didn't see what happened, but Glyn's obviously took a stone or something, and he's looking a little bit second-hand at the moment. Mears had got it, but at the end of the day, this fella comes through, Wayne Broadhurst, to win yet again the 350 final. How many times do we see Wayne winning 350 finals? And the man who won it last year, Richard Musson, not here this year, but that doesn't take anything away from Wayne. He really has had a super meeting. Right, the official result of the final only, not overall. A win for number 158, Wayne Broadhurst. In 2nd place, 511, Andy Challenger. In 3rd place, number 139, Dave Mears. In 4th place, number 250, Dave Mander. In 5th place, number 149, Rod Winterburn. In 6th place, number 134, Steve Morris. In 7th place, number 127, Ricky Scarborough. In 8th place, number 29, Bill Bourne. In 9th place, number 177, Dave Norris. And in 10th place, number 71, Ian Wilson. Non-finish was Glyn Stanton, who's just being helped to his feet, and I would suspect he's got a stone or something. Right, we can give you the 500 sidecar overall, and 500 sidecar overall. A win, as we said, for number 7, Kevin Lloyd and Alan Pithouse on 6 points. In 2nd place, number 49, Brian Canning and Colin Lewis on 7 points. In 3rd place, number 4, Jerry Squirrel and Paul Stafford on 9 points. In 4th place, number 14, Rob Williams and Carwyn Jones Davis on 11 points. In 5th place, number 71, Brian Palmer, Craig Herbert on 13 points. And in 6th place, number 438, Kevin Good and Dick Allroyd on 15. Those numbers again: 7, 49, 4, 14, 71 and 438. Was Wayne Broadhurst. As we already know, Wayne Broadhurst, number 158 on 6 points. Second overall, 511, Andy Challoner on 7 points. Third overall, number 139, Dave Mears on 8 points. Fourth overall, Dave Mander, number 250 on 11 points. Fifth overall was Ricky Scarboro, number 127 on 14 points. And sixth overall was Dave Morris on 18 points. So that's the first 6 home in the 350 overall, and we now look forward to the 1,000 chairs. Dave Norris, number 177. Right, big chairs, get on the way. Bluey back in second. Second, Gary Moon back in the back 4 spot, Gary Jackson in third, but in the bottom turn it is Rustling leading, and Rustling pulling at it tremendously, and Gary Jackson going past on the inside of Alan Bluey. So if Gary gets through there, this is going to have a whole deal. And if Gary finishes second, then Alan Blewett has lost it. If Alan Blewett can get back into second, then it means we're going to have a runoff and problems on the bottom turn. Gary Moon goes upside down and man in the track, and he's got a red flag on the bottom turn. So, as I was saying earlier, the bumps with a speedway outfit makes things very difficult on that bottom turn, and I just keep our fingers crossed that Gary's okay, he's on his feet, but Steve's still on the floor. So Steve Robbins at the moment is looking final. So 500 solo final. We have got on 3 points number 2 Peter Carr, he's the only one on a maximum score. On 4 points number 4 Peter Lloyd. On 7 points number 5 John Priest. On 5 points number 10 Tony Atkin. Oh, on 3 points as well, of course, Paul Fry. It's all about Paul Fry and Peter Carr. Well, if I was a betting man, my money would be on Peter Carr, but Paul Fry is a tremendous competitor, and here comes Paul. And Paul Fry is end over end on the bottom turn, and Paul Fry goes an absolute box of tricks, and that was, well, if I was a betting man, my money would be on Peter Carr, but Paul Fry is a tremendous competitor, and here comes Paul. And Paul Fry is end over end on the bottom turn, and Paul Fry goes an absolute box of tricks, and that was, well, that was pretty horrific. And we've got a red flag. In fact, Will James and Phil Ashcroft both stopped because that was frightening stuff. That really was. So Paul Fry really took a horrendous tumble. This is going to be interesting because Peter Carr right at the back in about, what, 8 or 9 places, so he's got a lot to do. He's going to get his stopped off. So it is out in front. Peter Lloyd, and Peter Lloyd's the man on 4 points. Peter Carr on 3 points, and Peter Carr not getting anywhere at the moment. So Lloyd he leads, and it's going to be a turn up for the book if he gets there. In second place it is Will James, and Peter Lloyd really choking on there. Peter Carr not getting at all on the leaders. Through in the second place comes Jason Handley, but Peter Lloyd looks to have it in the bag as he comes off the bottom turn with about a 40-metre lead at half distance. Will James in second place. In third place it is Jason Handley, and behind Handley is number 26, Peter Jones, and then Peter Carr. And Peter Carr really makes no impression at all on the leaders. He's back in fifth place. Peter Lloyd really has got the final all to himself, comes off the bottom bend with about a 60-metre lead into the last lap. Handley takes up second, Will James back to third, Carl in fourth, Jones in fifth, Dave Ryan is seventh, and behind Dave Ryan is Tony Atkin. But what a tremendous ride by Peter Lloyd. And Lloyd, if he wins this, he's going to win it overall, I think. I'm sure he is. Peter Lloyd comes off the bend and wins the final. And I think that's going to be a win for him overall. Handley second, James third, Peter Carr fourth, Pip Jones in fifth, Dave Wright sixth, behind him Tony Atkin and John Priest, Ricky Scarboro and Phil Ashcroft. Well, Peter Carr looked absolutely unbeatable today, but when he come to the final, well, whether it shook him off over that incident on the bottom corner so close to him, I don't know, but Peter Lloyd wins the final, and I think Peter Lloyd is the winner overall. Well done, Pete. Tremendous final, that. And at the end of the day, Will James came good, but what a terrible start he had to the day. And that man, Jason Handley, what a super day's racing he's had. Jason Handley finishes second in the final. So the 500 final overall, sorry, the 500 final, not overall, but the final itself, a win for number 4, Peter Lloyd. In second place was number 9, Jason Handley. In third place, number 46, Will James. In fourth place, number 2, Peter Carr. In fifth place, number 26, Pip Jones. In sixth place, number 38, Dave Wright. In seventh place, number 10, Tony Atkin. In eighth place, number 5, John Priest. In ninth place, number 127, Ricky Scarborough. And in 10th place, number 8, Phil Ashcroft. So, turn up for the book, but a well-deserved win for Peter Lloyd, the man who's been Grasstrack racing now for what, about 14, 15 years. Son of a famous father, of course, Glyn Lloyd, former 1000cc sidecar driver. And the action isn't all over yet. 1000 sidecar final. If you can remember back 2 races, you'll remember the point situation. On 3, he's won every race so far today, but he had a bad start in that final. The first running of the final, Alan and John blew it. On 4 points, Gary Wright. On 4 points, Russell Ing. Those are 3 crews really who are in with a fighting chance of winning it overall. And as they get off the line, Blewett gets boxed out. But no, Blewett emerges from the pack, and Alan Blewett it is who leads, Russell Ing back in fourth. Gary Jackson in second, Wright in third, Russell Ing in fourth. Back at the moment. So, Russell Ing through on the inside of Gary Jackson, and looking at the form, we see that if Russell... That was incredible. How Russell Ing got through there, I don't know. If Russell Ing wins it, and Alan in second, then coming down the outside very, very wide. And very, very close to the post on that top turn was Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams, but they get away with it. And they're pressurising Bluey on the back straight. Alan Blewett has got to hang on to that second place. He's got to do that to get a run off. And Jackson goes through, so Gary Jackson robs Alan Blewett to second place, and that'll mean that Russell Ing's going to win it. And Bluey, really, he is down on power. There is definitely something wrong with that motor. Gary Jackson up into second. Rustling off the top end. Rustling and Follier, they win it. They win it overall. Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams in second. Alan and John Blue in third. The Wrights are fourth and the Foreman's fifth. Well, we thought we were going to have a run-off, but it all came wrong at the end. We thought we were going to have an extra race. So, we haven't got a run-off, we've got a winner. Winner of the final, winner overall, Rustling Paul Urich. Last year Alan Blue won it, this year Russell wins it, and what a super final. Rustling Paul Urich, number 6, they win the final, they win it overall. In second place, number 23, Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. In third place, number 3, Alan and John Blewis. In fourth place, number 5, Gary Wright and Steve Wright. And in fifth place, number 149, Len and Ray Foreman. That's the result of the final, not the result overall, we'll give you that in just a moment. We have the result of the 500 overall. The result of the 500 overall. Solos. First on 5 points, Peter Lloyd. Second on 7 points, Peter Carr. Third on 9 points, well done Alan, well done John. Third on 9 points, Jason Handley. Fourth on 12 points, Will James. Fifth on 12 points, Pip Jones. And sixth on 12 points, Tony Atkin. A higher place in the final means that Will James is fourth, Pip Jones is fifth, Tony Atkin sixth. So the top 3 in the 500, Peter Lloyd, Peter Carr, Jason Handley. The only one we haven't given you overall is the 1,000 shares. Presentation, we're going to have a presentation now on the finish line by Mr. and Mrs. Sid Lewis. Third today, he's had some super rides, really has. Jerry Squirrel, Paul Stafford. Second today, a man who, as I said earlier, always has a nice stack, always keeps it nice and tidy, credit the sport, always has been. Brian Canning, Colin Lewis. Brian, of course, former solo man, another solo man, the winner today. Many times have I been in this position, being presenting him with a winner's cheque or whatever. One day it's going to be the British final, I know for sure. Kevin Lloyd and Alan Pithouse. How long? Thanks for the loan of your wife for the day. You've stepped in some, what's it? Right, we're going to the 250s next. Third today. A young man I always like to see do well, Shropshire lad, and he puts a lot in the game, he helps as well as rides. And his dad puts a lot into it, so it's always good to see him up there. Graham Thomas. Hey, you're cleverer than these sidecar blokes, you didn't step in it. Right, second today, young man who's done some super things over the last few years, always rides well, always consistent, Jason Stott. We can't move from here, otherwise we get feedback. And the winner of the 250 today, I've heard this bloke's name before somewhere, and what can you say? After 14 years, I've seen him win a few. Mark Wadsworth. We were going to have a charity run today, the same as at the Jerry Short meeting, but I think it's been abandoned for today. Yeah, what are you going to do now, dear? Do it, eh? We might do, yeah. To the tune of how much? If you weren't at Jerry Short's meeting, there was Mark, John Faulkner, Johnny Boston, Jerry Short, the Welsh, all round the track after, and there was 15 quid thrown the kitty. Mark won it and he donated it to the Hope House appeal. So if anybody wants to chuck a fiver in, these lads will run round the track. Hey? I think we've done enough to do it again. You can do it if you get enough. Anybody interested? Don't all chat at once. Wayne will back out. Well, he's like that, isn't he? If you want to have a go, see Mark and we'll organise it. Good luck. Well, we're going to 350 now. Bloke I thought was going to win it today had some tremendous rides, and in the final he led it. Still had a good third place. Dave Mears. Second today. It's always 350 is round in. It's usually either Wayne or Andy. Today it was Wayne. Andy was second. Andy Challoner. And the winner, if Les King is still here, I hope he's making a note of this in his diary, Wayne Broadhurst. Come on, Wayne! Come, you've got your casual gear on. Hey, Les! He stepped in the what's it? Hey, turn around, that bloke over there wants a picture of you. Well done, Les. Right, we're going to move on to 1,000 chairs now. Right, pity about the final was stopped with a spill, but it all come good stuff in the end. Third today, going super quick, Gary Wright and Steve Wright. Second today, if he could have gone on to second in the final, we'd have had a run-up with Rustling, but Gary Jackson put a spanner in the works there, so we didn't get the run-off. Bloke I've always appreciated him at meetings, because he travels so far from Darlington, and like me, he's getting on a bit now. Alan and John Lloyd. I bet he doesn't step in that. Well, I know. Cheers. The winner today, there was no doubt he was going to win that final. No doubt about it. Rustling Polly. Hang on, don't run away. You've got a cup to take home with you. Right? Got some famous names on that. Alan blew it won it last year. Get your name on it now. Well done. Well done, Russell. Well done, Paul. You might think I'm not talking to anybody today. We're going to table that and Peter Lloyd. Right, third in the 500 today. I must admit, I ain't seen much of this bloke, and he took me a bit by surprise today. Bought some super rides he's had. Jason Handley. Right. Second overall today. Jason had 9 points, by the way. Second on 7 points. What happened in the final, we'll find out in a minute. But what some super heats he had. Things just went wrong in the final. Peter Carr. Peter, just a quick word. I'm sure we all saw what happened in the final. Did the ball fly thing have any effect on it?
No, Paul never hit me. Just when I think he just went down, it would have been a good race if he hadn't gone down.
But why was Peter Carr back in the field in the final?
I just missed the start and they were too fast for me.
They went too fast, right? I didn't very consider. Tim over there. Cheers, Peter. Terrific throw. Great stuff. And a winner of the 500. A bloke I've known about 14 years. What a great lad he is. Peter Lloyd. There you are, and he doesn't step in the pool. Come here, Pete, we'll have a quick word off you. Right, just a few words on the final, and any news on Paul?
Well, I haven't had a chance to speak to Paul yet, so I've not been so busy long. But the final went really well, and I was glad it was rerun because I got away.
Right, I think that sums it up. Well done. And thank you all for coming. And we'll see you, I'll repeat again, at Minsterley. The good news at Minsterley.